You know, Ailish, for a pretty little, yeah, for a pretty little Asian girl, you certainly got it going on where it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put some sisters to shame. She's shaking her head like, I cannot believe you just said that to me. Like, yes, I did say that. Anyways, sorry for me being stupid. Welcome back to Sudeki. I'm Anansi. What's cracking with your people? I did all that in a completely wrong order. Let's get back to it, shall we? Oh yeah, in the last one, we got done escorting Ailish back to the castle, and now we're going to finish our journey going forward.
Well, here we are. Home again.
You certainly are. And it looks as though they've finished Elko's tower.
Well, that would keep him happy for a while.
Maybe he could give himself a day off.
Don't let Tilly hear you say that. She would die of shock.
He's very focused on his work, isn't he?
Yes. Obsessed is another word. I think that's why he gets on so well with Mother.
Oh yes, your mother. My queen. We had both better get along, eh? Ailish, I'm not saying you were right to come along, but, well, thanks. It was...
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, now! Do it now! Ailish, Tal, I'm so glad you are back to see this. We are going live! Look up at the tower! Yes! Oh, it's glorious!
Fantastic! That's quite an achievement, Elko. I hope you're gonna give yourself a bit of a rest now.
No time to rest for either of us, I'm afraid. You had best get yourself ready for action because we have more crystals together. That beam looks off color. Heatsink. Damn it all! I forgot to activate the heatsink. Tal, I'll explain everything later. I am going to Shidanimo.
Shidanimo?
How is it that Elko speaks so fast and yet never explains anything?
Right. Well, I guess we have some explaining of our own to do.
I suppose we have. Tal. Thanks.
And here we are, back in Tal's room. Go ahead and just leave.
General Arlo was waiting for you in the training ground. He seemed a little upset. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you.
Oh, so I forgot to touch on this earlier, but Ailish let slip. I don't think this came up prior to us meeting Ailish in an earlier part, but Tal is General Arlo's son. So he is the son of the highest ranking military official in the land. So there's a lot of pressure on him.
They call me Hagren, blacksmith, sword master, and enchanter of weapons and armor.
I'm not gonna lie, even though it doesn't matter who you go to in terms of blacksmiths, Hagren is always my favorite. Just because I love his voice. What can you do then?
Magical engraving is my specialty. I can improve any weapon you have. It's true.
Alright, then let's have an item enchanted. So, for right now, we're going to take our shadow armor, because we have a lot of florins to burn, and we're going to go ahead and put a damage shield on it. I'll let you know right now, you only get 3 slots, and I think you can respec the rooms anytime you want to. But my basic my basic setup going forward is every single character always has a damage shield on. Because what it does is that every time you take damage, the enemy will take damage for you. So when the computer player is being overrun by enemies, they're also doing damage on top of the damage they're dealing as is. And the computer will take a lot of damage. So trust me when I say you're gonna want this. Now then, how do I want to do this? I want to do this. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how you can begin to break this game in two. Now, Huckin's Fate is going to be our default weapon for a good little bit, okay? It doesn't do that much damage, and its critical rate is pretty much average. We can boost its critical rate. Oh, by the way, I should also mention, any weapon that has a status effect on it, like a detrimental status effect, is permanent. You cannot remove it. But what we're going to do is we're going to make this kind of balanced in a regenerative state. Because, as you saw, if you upgrade your player character's damage attributes, you should never have to worry about putting on a damage enhancing rune. Because I showed earlier, you have your Razor Edge, which pretty much increases the damage by a small amount. Your Heart Seeker increases the critical chance, and Mana Spark removes has a 25% chance of removing a beneficial magic. I would hold off on these personally. In terms of these smaller ones, what you really want to do is you want to put on your Bat Fang and your Spirit Bite. Congratulations, you just broke the game in two. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you literally did. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Recruit Sword and the Mojo for right now, because I don't think we get any more weapons for a while for Tau that are legitimately good. And what we're going to do is we're going to make Mojo our health sword. No, wait. Let's see, let me double check this here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna make Mojo our mana sword. So if we ever need to stock back up, and then we're gonna make, the Recruit Sword our health sword. If we ever need to stock back up on health and energy, we have weapons to do it with for right now. We will end up getting better weapons with better rune slots that we can do that with. But for right now, this is what we're going to work with. Trust me on this. Trust me when I say, you're going to run into enemies later in the game, even with how overloaded we are right now, that are going to make you cry in terms of how difficult they can be. Because the one thing about Sudeki, even though I'm used to controls, I remember when this first came out, this is my first M-rated game that I ever played through and beat. The controls can be a little bit wonky to get used to. As you can tell in some of the fights, the dodge roll isn't 100% perfect. There's a delay in bringing up the shield and dodging. If you notice some of the bouts when I was grinding Brightwater Pearls that I did show in the last part, it can get to a point where you can get cheap shots even though you're trying to block. So that is something to keep in mind. And with that in mind, it is honestly more beneficial to set up your weapons to better for survivability rather than for utility. So you don't want to use. So you really don't want to have a weapon that's like, I'm gonna use this to dispel your enchantments, because the enchantments on an enemy more than likely do not last that long. They last maybe all of 5 to 10 seconds. In which time you probably would have danced around them anyway and beat them to death with your blades, or shot them to death with your spear. You won't need to worry about increasing your damage or critical chance, because the critical chances on these weapons are honestly decent enough that you shouldn't have to worry about it. And with the damage is high enough that should be fine. And if you're upgrading your power, and I believe your essence might play it. No, your essence doesn't. But you upgrade your power just enough, you will never need to worry about having a high critical chance. You will never have to worry about that, because your damage will be so high that you'll be doing more than enough damage to your enemies. And when the critical chance does go off, it will be a lovely surprise. Not to mention, it goes off so often that low chance might as well not even be there. It might as well just be a way of saying, don't count on this, but it will happen more often than not. Anyway, let's go talk to General Arlo.
Sir, I heard you wanted to see me?
That's right. I wanted to see the new royal champion. I have to say, though, I'm glad I never served with you at my side. You're the kiss of death, aren't you? Every rookie that takes a tour with you dies within the hour. Why is that, Tal?
I guess some of us just don't make it back. Something happened out there. I only just survived myself.
Oh, you're a born survivor, aren't you? I mean to say, you survived when Private Abraham didn't. You survived when Officer Brashill didn't. And of course, you survived when your brother didn't!
What's this got to do with
everything?
him? Damn it. He was your son, but he was my brother. You don't think I wish I could change things? You just have to cast blame somewhere, don't you?
Be quiet, soldier! You might have fooled the princess into thinking you're a hero, but I know better! Seems Ailish has requested that I transfer you to the courtroom. Now listen! You have brought enough shame on my family without embarrassing yourself by flirting with royalty! Now get out of here!
Tal has a rough home life. Go ahead and open this up again. I know we just took this away, but we're gonna go back through here. Is Arlo hanging around here? No, I don't think so. Okay, so there's this block puzzle here, and there is a chest there. We want to go ahead and open this up. So, if I remember correctly, you got to do this, I believe. Pull this back, and then you do this. This block puzzle can be a bit of a trap. You basically want to make a T, but how it works is that there's this empty spot in between here and these two blocks here. If you push this one in, you can still get it, but it's going to be harder, you know? But you want to do it like that. You get to this totem. I don't even think of the totem. That one gets this treasure chest. This might be a totem, actually. Orb of Power. Okay, so no, it wasn't. So now we're going to go ahead and give this to Tal. And that's just going to make a mystic orb that contains the essence of a titan. Increases hits by 10. Bada bing, bada boom, we're good to go. And honestly, Tal should be good on power for a while. We can pretty much spend the rest of his upgrades for a little bit, actually, on his skills and his, well, just other skill points. But yeah, no, we saw there that Tal and Arlo don't have the best relationship. As a matter of fact, apparently something happened with Tal and his brother on a mission, and Tal was the only survivor. Verstappen, anybody have anything to say in here? I don't think so. Yeah, no, they're just guards. I think this guy just offers you a room, right?
Welcome to Coop's Tavern. We have rooms to rent and grog to sell.
It must be fun owning a tavern.
Well, I gave up the demon drink many moons ago, but I love running the inn, and I still like a good laugh.
Well, there you go. But yeah, no, I don't think there's any side quests in here to gather. You can just stuff in here to the rest up and whatnot. But yeah, no, so yeah, something happened with Tal and his brother, and Tal's the only one who made it back. Arlo apparently blames Tal for his brother's death, which tells me that Arlo and Tal's brother were probably really close. He probably did the thing you really shouldn't do as a parent and played favorites. And to this day, he's never let Tal live that down. This was who knows how long ago. But that picture and the paintings go by, this might have been recently a year ago, a little few years ago. Though the wiki actually states that this happened relatively recently. I'll get into that as we go through this. The wiki has things on it that I'm kind of 50-50 on. But yeah, no. So Arlo was pretty much even harder on Tal, despite him being his son and already having to deal with that to begin with. Do any of these people have anything to say? I think some of these people might have questions.
Welcome to the great Illumina Castle, guiding light of the bright empire.
What does the court
The
here do?
tasks of the court are my business, as well as seeing to the needs of our guests. Now, please excuse me.
Will the towers be
I
worth it?
certainly hope so. A lot of the revenue earned throughout the Empire is spent on that machine of Elko's. It had better work.
Okay, Tomas. Okay, so yeah, he's basically just a guy who's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but I do need to make sure this stuff is worth it. A book listing the illustrious lineage of Her Imperial Majesty, Empress of the Bright Empire, Queen Lucica of Lumina. Basically just a book detailing
Welcome.
the family line. Okay. What does it? Okay. Did you vote for the towers?
I always vote with the Queen. When all 4 of the towers are built, this building will be the tallest in the kingdom.
So basically, this guy's a brown-noser who doesn't know how to think for himself. Either that, or Queen Lucica is even more terrifying than we thought. But yeah, no. Apparently, Tal and Arlo are not on good terms. And as you saw earlier, Ailish and Tal are hitting it off pretty well. The pre-render cutscenes, the models are phenomenal. I love their expressions, I love the acting, I love the subtle nuances and whatnot. And you can very much see that Ailish very much wants to be more than just princess in garb with Tal, if you know what I'm saying. And it looks like Tal wants the same thing, but he's being careful because he's on thin ice with his father. And Queen Lucica is, well, the queen. So anyway, let's get to our new job.
Furthermore, Your Majesty, I am pleased to report that under your reign, we have achieved unprecedented
I hate
levels
these
of
court
success
meetings,
in the
always full of
marketplace.
farmers
And the
prattling
people
on
are
about how much
continuing to
tax they
enjoy
pay or some such
unparalleled
nonsense.
stability with your
Yes, or
firm and
worse
steady
still are
hand
those
at the
fawning
tiller,
diplomats
so to
sucking up to mother in hopes of a knighthood.
The Royal Court thanks you for your kind words. Is this the last one?
Yes, ma'am. Now, to Elko's progress report on the Crystal Towers.
The work is on schedule, ma'am. When the machine is completed, we'll be able to store enough magical energy to safeguard our kingdom for generations. We have 1 tower up and running, but the other 3 remain dormant as yet. We urgently need to acquire 3 large crystals, and it seems that the village of Shadani Mo contains 1 of sufficient size.
The crystal is not his to take.
May I present Buki from the Shadani Mo Warrior Council? They have some reservations... worries about our request to take the Shadani crystal.
The stone is sacred and cannot be moved. It will launch a plague of demons if it falls into the wrong hands.
Buki, the machine is designed to protect and serve not just Illumina, but all of the Bright Empire, including Shadani Mo. These are not the wrong hands.
The crystal must stay within the temple.
She really needs to watch her tongue. I can see black clouds forming around Mother's head.
You would put the safety of Shadani Mo before that of the rest of the Empire? When we asked Illumina to help fight the demons in our temple, you ignored us. But now that you covered our crystal, we're supposed to be allies.
Illumina is also plagued by monsters and raids by the Eclorian troops. I believe they're linked in some way. Surely you recognize the grave danger we all face.
I must return to my people. Our situation has worsened these last few weeks. The Shidani must fight alone. We will not bargain with our heritage.
Elko, follow her. Things will get worse for the Shidani, and soon they will be forced to give us the crystal. Take young Tal with you as your personal guard. Elko, do not return without that crystal.
Oh, he was no sooner here than he's gone again. Looks like you're not going to see your soldier boy for a while then. Still, I'm sure Buki will keep him occupied.
Nonsense. I think I shall arrange a royal visit to Shidani Mo, and you can keep quiet, or I'll send you back to that dreary little village of yours.
Oh, I'm saying nothing. It's up to you if you want to run the risk of upsetting the Queen by running off into the wilds. I'll have none of it, especially after you left me high and dry in New Brightwater the other day. I might have been killed travelling back alone.
And just like that, our adventure returning Ailish comes to an end. And now we get to play as her as she does the naughty princess thing and slinks off where her mother doesn't want her to be, to the village of Shidani Mo. But we'll be doing that in the next one. I've been Anansi, and I will catch you later.